I'm Ferrari. I am part of the founding engineering team at Govstream.ai, and I do a little bit of everything. Well, there's a lot of things that we can do in life, and something that brings me a lot of motivation is helping people achieve what they want to achieve. And for a lot of folks, it's building something, either some housing for themselves or for some loved ones, or a project that they feel that the community needs, and to be part of that process and facilitate these big ideas is very exciting for me. Well, primarily I help write code, but that's only a part of the picture in a startup. I'm helping kind of narrow down what's feasible. I talk to customers sometimes, do a lot of testing, and just generally help my colleagues figure out what they're going to work on as well. It's a collaborative thing between all of us. Well, there's a lot of responsibility in these things because people are building houses. They're going to last a long time, and they're going to remember what happened. So that is something that kind of keeps me going, but it's also like, got to get this right. And also responsibilities to my colleagues. They're also very committed to what we're doing, and we got to help each other along where we can, and that also feels like a lot of responsibility, but it's something that we all enjoy taking on. Generally with startups, you can kind of choose what you're working on in a sense. Even in something that at first glance seems a little straightforward like permitting, it actually isn't at all. There's so many things. There's computer vision. There's talking to government officials and understanding what their concerns are. There's AI systems to contend with. There's web scale infrastructure to contend with. There's plain talking to users and having a good, I'll call it, bedside manner. You can do all of these things, and that is really interesting to me and helps me understand the world a bit more completely. And so I find that is very exciting part of what I do. Gosh, there's so many steps from here to like even next week that thinking that far ahead is interesting. One of the more interesting things for me will be to walk around in a building that Govstream helped permit and kind of see where they're going after that project has been completed in terms of like what the city sees, but like what's next in terms of like the tenant or the owner or whatever it is, and kind of seeing where else can we help with the process, because at the end of the day we're interested in getting our communities built up and in a place that they have all the resources around the neighborhood that they need, and who knows where that could go. Yeah, my team's great. We have attracted a certain type of individual, and I say that with just the utmost respect. Something's always happening. Surprises are usually of the good kind, of like, hey, did you think of this? Did you think of that? Just naturally curious people, and that's, I'm lucky to be part of such an environment, and be valued for interrupting the conversation, being like, hey, did you think of this? No, well, we should kind of go back to square one. And then people react by being excited that a new realization was just around the corner, and now it's here and we can react on it. And of course that goes both ways. The culture is a big part of I think what makes this company work the way it does. It is forgiving, but not in a way that, I'm not sure how to put this in the most plain way. We think it's very important to be able to make mistakes, to try things, to learn things, to admit where we're wrong, where we could use some help, but also expect the people to be engaged and give it their best try, and kind of bias for, hey, I might not be the best person for the job, but looks like I got to do it because everyone else is doing other things. We'll talk about it briefly, and then I'll go and do it. And if it needs to be changed later, we can change it later. And not being laughed at if I do something silly as a result of doing something that I'm not as familiar with. So I think that is one of the biggest positive aspects of our culture here. And then also just one of very intense mutual respect. Come join us if you are interested in, like I was saying before, getting people to a place where they can build what they want to build in their community. If that kind of thing excites you and you're curious about learning about new tools that can make this sort of workflow more possible, AI, not AI, whatever it is, computer vision, come talk to us. We'd love to hear from you.